Hey, good evening, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could be with me this Monday evening, January 24th, 2022. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself. And we do that by helping you become financially independent by teaching you how to currency trade with our very accurate proprietary trading tools, and we supplement that with what we consider to be the best in the business, one-on-one personalized training, which we think is the only way to learn currency trading. If you haven't muted yourself, if you could please mute yourself, that'd be a big help. With our trading tools, we've got a dozen different signals, and when we start coaching you, we find one that resonates and then create a trade plan around it. The two signals that I will be using tonight are something called the 10-point trade, which basically we are trying to get all the lines to line up. And the second is, if we can't find a 10-point trade, we will look for a scalp trade, and I am going to use the thick orange line as the scalp trade. Before we get started, though, we need to listen to this guy. So let us do that.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
Now, the proof is ultimately in the pudding. So one of the reasons we do these sessions is so that you can make your own evaluation as to how well our tools work and whether you can trade with them. So we come on. If you are a light member, you've got the limited access. We do a trade Monday evening, Tuesday morning. We do another one Tuesday a little later in the morning at 9:30, Thursday morning, and Friday evening. But when you are a member in the program, we do live trades. In addition to those trades, we do live trades in the morning at 10 a.m., live trades in the evening, trades on Sunday after the market opens, and an additional paid trade a little later in the evening at 8 o'clock Eastern. So lots of opportunities for you to watch and experience to trade or trade, learn from that, and see how accurate we are. As I said, the proof's in the pudding. We come on here, we do trades, and we have a very, very high accuracy rate. The reason we have the high accuracy rate is, one, we've learned how to use the indicator, to use the tool, and two, we've learned good risk and money management practices. I work off of a checklist to keep me focused when I trade. And I start on that checklist by making sure my charts are current and working. I did that for my green chart and my MetaTrader 4. Good habit every day, not just for trading, but in life, is to do a review of what we did during the day and figure out what worked and what didn't. And on the things that didn't work, why they didn't work. As we don't have any trades from yesterday, we are not going to do that tonight, but we will do it tomorrow morning when we review tonight's trade. As we are technical traders, which means our indicators are very good at figuring out the price action movements on the currency pairs, predicting when they're going up and when they're going down. News also impacts currency. So we want to know what news events are scheduled to come up so we can trade around them. And we do that by going to forexfactory.com. Forexfactory.com breaks news down into kind of three categories. And this is news that will impact currency prices. So a yellow is predicted to be a low impact, an orange is a medium impact, and a red is a high impact. I am interested in the red items. And you can see right now it's the next upcoming item here is at 7:30, which is less than an hour away, and is on the Australian dollar. Consumer price index is being released, and that is enough to move the market. I typically like to be out of a trade on any news item 2 hours before it. So that is going to limit our trading ability tonight, because we've got some news coming up that's only going to leave us with the Japanese pairs and New Zealand pairs, but New Zealand pairs move with Australian pairs. So let's see what we have. We'll go through the analysis and see what we can come up with. But Australian trades are off the table for tonight. So with that, I am going to open up our indicators. And this first chart is the Light 6 Major, which is one of the standard layout charts, which I like to call the composite chart. It contains 6 different pairs: Australian dollar, US dollar, pound dollar, US Canadian dollar, US Swiss franc, US yen. And I am trading off of an hour chart, which means each of these candles has 1 hour's worth of information. And current candle has got 22 minutes left. So with this 10-point trade, I am going to start in the middle of the chart with this section, which you call the majors and the minors. The red and green lines are the major indicators. The blue and black are the minor indicators. And I am looking for situations where we are either above the blue line, which is the overbought line. When the market is overbought, that is a good selling opportunity. And likewise, where the lines are below the red line, which is the oversold line. When the lines are above the blue line, I want these lines pointing down. And what I'm trying to do is, when they're pointing down, I want to get an overbought situation and let it run through the channel and take whatever pips there are to be had out of it. And on a 1 hour candle, it's usually going to be somewhere between 5 and 30 pips. So I'm just going to scan through here and see where I see situations where we're either overbought and the lines are coming down, or oversold and the lines going up. We weren't going to trade the Australian dollar, but it looks like whatever the news is, looks like it's leaking out a little bit, because it was starting to come down and then now it's starting to push up. So this may be anticipating AUD. This is making the AUD stronger. AUD is becoming stronger there. So Euro USD, we're not going to trade this, but just to go through our analysis. And the reason we're not going to trade this now, because it's off times for both currency pairs. It is around midnight in 1 a.m. in Europe, and it's 6:30 here on the East Coast. I want to trade when at least one of the currency pairs is in the morning. But we don't have a signal here anyways. We've got majors and minors are going down. Actually, the majors are going down, minors are going up, but actually they started to turn, so we don't have a good signal. Pound USD, pound USD. We are overbought. Everybody's going down. So I like, so that's the second part of the signal. And the third part is the red line is crossed over the green line, and the black line is crossed over the gray line. So I've got 3 points here. One, that everybody, all the lines are going down. Two, that they're overbought. And three, that I've got this double cross. So when I have 3 points here, I'm going to jump up to my TNTs, and I want to see that I have support. I want to see that I have support on the TNTs, and then I'm going to go down to the pressure and see if I've got support here. As each of these sections are measuring something different, I want to get support across the board. And when I get a support across the board, I've got a high probability of getting a good trade. So I'm going to count how many lines up here match with what I'm seeing here. So this is telling me sell. Now, the one thing I don't like about this is the majors aren't steep enough, or what I like to see steep enough going down. It's really kind of more of a sideways versus, like, you can see the steepness here. I'd rather see these lines steep, but they technically meet the requirement that I'm looking for. So the thick orange line's coming down. Thin orange line is going horizontal, so I don't get a point for that. This one agrees. And the thick blue, the blue lines are inversely related. So what that means is when blue is going up, that means sell. So I've got one blue going up and one blue going down. So only two of the lines here are telling me sell. I need to have a minimum of 3 lines here. So without 3 lines, my analysis is done. So I don't even get to the pressure. So, and the trick is when I get all the lines to agree, I've got a high probability trade. So let's keep going. USD Canadian, again, it's off time. We probably wouldn't take this, but we're oversold, so that's a point. The majors are kind of going up. The minors are kind of going up. It's really more sideways. As it's sideways, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm not going to take it. But if I glance up at the TNTs, again, I only have 2 of the 4. Thick orange is going up, which gives me a point. Thick blue is coming down. Only 2 of the 4. Well, I guess the thin orange is he's gone flat again. He goes up a little bit and then goes flat. So I only have 2 of the 4, so I'm going to pass. Again, one of the tricks is I don't need many trades. If I get 2 or 3 good trades a day, I'm making money. I've invested about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I'm doing great. USD Swiss franc, we're in the middle of the channel, or we're approaching overbought, so nothing here. USD yen, overbought. Minors are still going up. Majors are starting to roll. I want everybody pointing down, so we're going to pass. So I am going to duplicate this chart and open up. What I've done is I've cloned this 6 light major, and I am going to go into my charts and go to 6 major 2 and open up a new chart. This chart again has 6 different currency pairs. These currency pairs are non-US based pairs. So for example, we're starting off with the euro pound. This is a nice signal. Oversold, everybody's going up, and green's on top and gray's on top. So I've got 3 points here. 2 orange lines going up. Thick blue coming down, so I get 3 of the 4 telling me buy here. When I get down to my pressure, I want the lines either going up or I want the green line on top. I've got kind of sideways pressure with the red line on top. So I don't have a point here. I do like that the green line is sloped going up, but I want this line on top of the red line, so I don't have that. Other reason I wouldn't take this trade is because it's, you know, it's midnight in London and 1 a.m. On the east coast of Europe. Australian pound yen. Again, we're overbought. Everybody's going up. Reason I don't want to take a buy trade, even though these lines are going up, is I don't know how much more movement, up movement there is when we're overbought. And I don't want to get stuck that it starts to turn. We're overbought, so it means that's going to turn soon at some point. I don't want to get caught holding a buy when it does turn. So nothing there. Euro Canadian dollar, oversold. Minors are going down. Majors are sideways, so we're going to pass. Australian New Zealand dollar, we're just approaching overbought with the majors, so that's not good, or that's not the signal we're looking for. Pound yen, overbought going up. So again, I want overbought. I want lines coming down. Oops, euro. Euro, Australian dollar, oversold going down. Oversold going down. So we're going to pass on it. So I've got I've got another group of 6 charts. So we'll open it up and go to 6 major 3. Again, I only need one good trade to make this exercise worthwhile. Canadian dollar yen, overbought going up. Euro New Zealand dollar, oversold. Minors are going up, majors are going up. It's morning time in New Zealand, so I've got 3 points here. Thick orange is going up, which means a buy. The 2 blue lines are going down, which means buy. So I've got 3 of the 4 telling me buy. But the pressure isn't there yet. Pressure isn't there yet. The lines are converging. They're getting closer to each other, but I've got weak down pressure. I want either up pressure or the green line on top, and I don't have that yet. So we're getting a little closer. Pound and New Zealand dollar, oversold. Majors are going up, but the minors aren't there yet. I want everybody going up. And when I have everybody going up, I've got a greater chance of the trade working out. And the key is to have that high accuracy rate. My accuracy rate is 80, a little over 80%, but we've got many traders that are close to 90. So if you get that accuracy rate up, you know, you will make money. New Zealand dollar yen, overbought going up. Gold USD, overbought. Minors are coming down, but majors are sideways, so we're not there yet. And Bitcoin USD, we do have a signal here. We're overbought. We're into the channel. It's not quite halfway. The signal's gone a little bit weak on the majors. I'm not going to trade Bitcoin because not everybody can trade Bitcoin. They don't have access to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin, we give a little additional training on. And I don't like, I don't like this kink in the line going from more steepness to less steepness. And for some reason, the blue lines aren't showing up here, which I will need to report to the office. So I don't want to, since we haven't got limited time, I don't want to waste it on that. Let's duplicate again, and we got one more set to see. The evening trade at this time of night, we find sometimes is a little harder to find trades right after the, we're an hour and a half after the new day begins. So we want to try to catch either the Australian, New Zealand, or Japanese markets, and so far we haven't. Australian, Canadian, everybody's going up. So whatever this news is, I'm guessing that it's going to push this up further because it was coming down and it's turned. Swiss franc, yen, majors are starting to turn. They're really more sideways, but minors aren't there yet. Euro yen, overbought, but not going down. Pound Australian dollar, oversold, still going down. New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, majors are overbought and going up. Minors have turned and are coming back. In Canadian Swiss franc, oversold, or they're in the middle of the channel. So we've got, we have just gone through 24 pairs in 15 minutes and didn't find a single 10-point trade. So one of the great things about our charts, though, is that we're able to use multiple signals. So the signal I'm going to use now is I'm going to use a little scalp signal, and I'm going to go through the 24 again. This signal is even simpler to figure out. And it's based on what's happening here with this thick orange line. This thick orange line is a scaled number, and when the line is as high as it can go, it gets this number up here gets to 10. When it's as low as it can go, it gets to 0. When it is at 10, what it's telling us is it doesn't think there's any more up in the movement. If there's no more up in the movement, that means it's a good time to sell. Likewise, when it gets to 0, and that is telling us it doesn't believe there's any more down in the movement. If there's no more down in the movement, good time to buy. This trade is accurate about 90% of the time, and it's always on the 1-hour chart, which we're trading off of, is good for 5 pips. Now, when I see either a 0 or a 10 here, I don't want to trade off at just one piece of information. So I'm going to look for confirmation that tells me that, yes, we've indeed maxed out and we're about to come back. And what that's going to be is where the majors and minor lines are. So if this were at 10, I'd want to see these lines just like this, way up here above the blue line. If it was at 0, I'd want to see it way below the red line. So I'm just going to scan through real quick and see if I see a 0 or a 10. It doesn't have to be exactly 0 or 10. It could be within one point of either end. So 7 isn't close enough. 0.5 is close enough. It's close enough to 0. So to confirm that there's no more down in the movement, I'm going to look and see where these lines are. Minors have gone through the channel, but the majors haven't. So this is telling me there's more down in the move. I want to see all of these lines down here. So I don't have it. Why do I keep doing that? Sorry about that. My mouse sensitivity I've been trying to adjust it, and I've gone to the scroll thing, and it clicks on stuff that I don't want it to click on. 2 isn't close enough. 3 isn't close enough. 5 isn't close enough. So I'm looking for 0 or 10. 7th isn't close enough. 3 isn't close enough. And this trade, I want to take it, this thick orange line trade, I want to take it when there is less than 5 minutes in the top of the hour. Because what's going to happen is when those numbers are 0 or 10, you can think of it like an elastic. The candle is stretched, and when the new candle comes up at the top of the hour, there's a little release, and we catch that little snap. So not close enough. 1.4 not close enough. I want it between 0 and 1 or 9 and 10. 7.5 not close enough. 1.9 not close enough. 5 not close enough. So let's go to the next batch. 4.9 not close enough. 7 not close enough. 5 not close enough. 7 not close enough. 5.9 not close enough. 7.1 not close enough. Looks like we're going to get shut out here today. Let's see. 5.8 not close enough. Not close enough. Not close enough. New Zealand yen not close enough. 5.4 not close enough. 1.3 not close enough. But even if this were under 1, look where our lines are. I want them way underneath the red line. So, gang, we have just gone through 24 pairs with 2 different signals, and we did not find a trade. One of the good lessons to learn is don't trade to always be in the market. Trade when there's a good signal. So if there's no good signal, the best trade to make is no trade. But it's not. We're not gambling here. Where we have got the odds in our favor when we use these signals. These signals tell us when there's a good setup. They're very reliable, but we just need to be patient and wait for the signal to come up. So tonight, there is no trade. We will be back at this again tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern time. And usually on the Tuesday morning, we will find a trade. Let's see if we have any questions. And we do. Yes, John. John is asking if sometimes when I am streaming, and actually you'll be able to see it because I keep this open. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I've got so much open, I'm using up too much CPU. And when this CPU gets up to like 90, 95, it tends to screw up the charts. So since I'm streaming while I'm doing this, it sometimes jumps that up. And when it jumps it up, it causes the charts to you get the it just spins and doesn't set up. The last few sessions, we'll go 2 sessions where it'll work perfect, and then 1 session where it'll screw up. And I think Thursday it screwed up, if I remember. It froze. And John has some figured out some workarounds for that. So I'm interested in hearing them. The company says they're continuing to make improvements on the green chart so that it doesn't happen and that it loads faster and jumps higher and all of that stuff. But their recommendation to me is you need a computer with more horsepower. So that might ultimately be the solution. As really the only time I see it is when I am streaming, where I see that frees up. Nice. Okay, John's got 12 charts open and it's only using 44 percent of the CPU. So that's, he's got a little secret there. So we'll find that out. I'll find that out this week and probably report it to you on Thursday. All right, King, thanks for being here. Our goal is to make you excellent traders, and we will if you follow the program. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you tomorrow morning.